Hey everyone, what's going on, and welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be the first part of a series of a review of a product. So before I get into this, check out homeaquaticshobby.com. The link is in the description below, and this is a website that I've been putting together. There are product links there for starters, even experienced fish keepers. So we have items related to filtration, feeding, water quality, breeding, and other random products as well. There's also a section there where I'll be doing vlogs based on, or blogs, based on just how-tos, basic information, and also written product reviews. So, this product, I was actually reached out by Santa Monica Filtration about their Algae Scrubber. Before I get into this is not an algae scrubber like you would think, where it actually literally physically scrubs the algae off the sides of your tank like most sponges or stuff like that would. This is slightly different. I do have a link in the description below to their website. I also put a link to the product there below as well. And I'll also put a link to some educational documents that they've provided with me and that I found myself as well on how this product works and the thought behind it. So upon first impressions, packaging is very nice. Received this very quickly, and they do provide some images on how it's set up. So you can see the picture right over here. So it's the HOG scrubber. So it has a light on the inside and what it's supposed to take out. So this is going to be a completely unbiased review, so if I do not like the product, I will mention that. But it will be a few parts together before I actually even make a conclusion. I will be using the product for a couple months before I even recommend it or do not recommend it. But for anyone that does want to check it out on their own, the links again, like I said, are in the description below. So documents are pretty good. So this is how you set it up. I like how they provide all these documents on how this works. So it seems like they've done their research. Again, this is not a large company. They are pretty much like a hobbyist group that have specialized in filtration. So you pretty much can't use this product wrong. If you read this packet, it's pretty extensive, but at the same time, you want a lot of information like this. I actually really like this part. I don't know many companies that actually provide something this extensive, so they did put their time into creating something, and they also take their time into providing you with it. So definitely recommend so far. So first, right now I do give it 10 out of 10 just because of this document. And let's keep going. So the actual product itself, it's actually not too large. So I'm doing this with one hand. The other hand is holding the camera, or technically it's just my phone. Alright, so from my understanding, and before I go into actually super details about this, the way this product works is that it sandwiches between your glass. So one part goes on the inside, which I'm going to say is the part with the airline hose, and the other part goes on the outside of your tank, and that's the part that has the light and the plug. So there are magnets holding it. So there's a magnet on top. I believe there's two magnets on top. One on top, one on the bottom, two on the sides. And then when you open it up, we have the lights on this side. See if the magnets separate. So the lights on here that encourage growth of algae. I'll get into more details about that. So that encourages the growth of algae, and then on this side, we have the airline hose. So this plugs into an airline. Some rocks on the inside. Holes on top where the air escapes. There are some holes on the sides too, and that might be just for the water to come through. So, the intent of these rocks is for the algae to grow on them. So this area in here will have complete light, so I'm pretty sure this is a 24/7 thing. I don't think, whoops, these wrong magnets. So this is a 24/7 thing where the light is always on. Not really sure what this part is. Let's see if we could open it. This might just take it apart. Yeah. So that's if you want to remove that cord. So these lights are on 24/7, and they encourage algae to grow on these rocks. I'm sure you'll get some algae buildup on the glass as well, but only in this section. Now, what you could do is whatever grows in here, you could feed your fish, since it's just algae, or pretty much like seaweed. So that might be like some pretty cool thing I'll use where I'll... Sorry, I was just looking at something. A pretty cool thing where I might actually make my own fish food using this. It probably will grow a good amount. From what I've seen in other reviews and other people that have used it, they've gotten handfuls every so often. So, when this grows the algae on here, it's removing the nitrates from your tank. The algae requires those nitrates to grow, and then when you remove the algae, you're removing the nitrates with it. So in other words, what it's supposed to do is it acts kind of like a filter for your tank. It's supposed to reduce the amount of water changes. They did advertise that you could eliminate water changes, but that's something I don't really recommend just because you want to always replenish nutrients in the water by adding more water back in. But if it reduces water changes by improving your water quality, that's a plus right there. But I would not encourage to eliminate water changes 100% altogether. So this is just the initial impressions of the item. So again, what we have is a very nice picture and really good quality paper and ink, which shows how you put this together. So this part is the outside part that goes on the outside of the tank, and then there's the other part on the inside that has the air hose, the light. So this is a different model than the one I have, but it works in a similar way. And then just like a visualization of what comes out. I don't know how often you would have to clean them. That's some information I'll have to continue to read through these. So this is initial unboxing. I still have to go through those documents and read them in details. So that will be a future video with more information on the setup. I'll have a video of how I set it up, and then we'll also continue to have impressions on it. I will not make a final decision until I've used it for a couple months. I won't be setting this up right away. I'm actually leaving for vacation soon. I don't want to leave it on while I'm not here, since it is a brand new product that I'm using, and I want to be present for every step of it. So again, this is the Santa Monica Filtration. I believe I have the HOG model. One of these HOGs. I wonder where it says that. Probably somewhere in the packet. But I will put a link for this exact item in the description below. It'll also be on my website for anyone that is interested, and I'll provide some documentation in the description and articles of how this works. So this is a pretty cool techie way of keeping your tanks clean and filtered. I honestly have never even heard of something like this until recently, and until the company has reached out to me. And it's something that I've actually been pretty interested since I read about it. It's very cool. It's a very cool concept. But since I have no experience with it, this is something that's going to be a learning experience with me as we go along with it, and we'll see how this works. It might be the future of filtration, since it is a pretty new product. Yeah, so with that said, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and drop a like. And if you're a returning subscriber, drop a like as well and leave a comment of what you think. And if anyone has ever used this before, let me know, because I'm learning as you're learning. And again, the articles are below if anyone wants to take a read and do some research on their own. Alright guys, thanks for checking out the video. Until next time, have a good one.